It's been about a week since we got the second batch of dorados. One of them died by himself, the other one was killed. We still have 3 remaining, but the 2 of them are in pretty bad shape. And they're constantly fighting, look at them. Instead of eating, they're fighting and fighting and fighting. Beating each other senseless. Today they haven't fed for the first time since I started feeding them. So I'm gonna have to take them out and separate them. The third one is doing very well. He's schooling with all the big guys almost all the time. Sometimes he comes over to these guys and they engage, they attack him too. Or he attacks them. I would say that this batch is a lot more aggressive to each other than the first batch. Whatever that means. Anyhow, I'm gonna have to take those 2 out and put them in different tanks. I moved both dorados. This dorado looks really beat up. He's so beat up I thought he was not gonna make it, but he just fed. He grabbed a big piece of fish, which made me very happy. That other one is not as beat up and it's bigger. I just put him here so he's a little stressed sitting on the bottom. But the thing is, when I put him in there, the Nile perch decided that that's their new food. So I had to catch him and put him behind the divider with the Asian red tail. Because, I mean, they clearly couldn't, they were hesitant and couldn't, they knew they were too big for them. But they looked like they were gonna try it sooner or later. They were chasing the dorado and eyeing it up and making test bites. So they had to go behind the divider. Never mind all the food in there, just threw it in there to keep everybody fed as well as I can. These 2 that stopped feeding in the tank with the big ones and were often engaging in fights with the biggest one that was left in there, the one that schools with the big guys. They also fight with each other, but I thought I'd try this in this tank anyway because there's a lot of dividers in here, a lot of room to get away from each other. So the third dorado, the only one in this tank left from the second batch. It schools with all the big guys. He's the smallest in here. And he would periodically come up to those other 2 which were either by that wall or by the other wall. He would come up to them and they would engage in dominance displays, shaking, body slamming each other, sometimes biting. But he's the only one who schools with the big guys, so I left him in here. And we'll see what happens. I hope these 2 would live peacefully with each other. My original idea was to put one here and one there, but the Nile perch blew it when they started hunting that first dorado. Man, there is such a teeth mark on that little guy, and a huge gash, a piece of skin missing on the side. His stomach is ripped, but he just fed. Praise the Lord. There is hope for him. His tail is shredded. They are much, as I said before, they're much nastier to each other than the ones from the first batch when we got 10 of them and we have 8 survivors. But those guys, I don't know, maybe they killed each other out of hunger or from me not keeping them super full. Not sure about that.